The will that wasn't meant for me until I took back what was rightfully mine. So, let me start by saying this. My grandfather wasn't some billionaire tycoon or celebrity, but in our little town he was respected. He built a construction company from nothing, ran it for 40 years, and when he died there was a sizable estate. Houses, land, a fat savings account, and investments that had been compounding for decades. Enough to change lives. I was always close to him. He treated me more like a second son than a grandkid. We'd go fishing. He taught me to drive before my own dad bothered. And every Christmas he'd pull me aside to remind me, "You're gonna be just fine, kid. Don't let this family eat you alive." I thought it was just grandfatherly wisdom. Turns out, he knew exactly what kind of snakes I was related to. Grandpa's will was clear. When he passed, everything was to be split evenly between his two children, my dad and my aunt, and their kids. That meant me, my cousin Madison, and my cousin Ryan. Equal parts. Simple math. No favoritism. Grandpa had it notarized and updated a year before he died. But grief brings out the ugliest parts of people. Within a week of his funeral, whispers started. My aunt, who always had champagne taste on a beer budget, suddenly got real cozy with my dad. Madison, oh Madison, smiled at me like butter wouldn't melt in her mouth, then started dropping passive-aggressive hints that Grandpa really wanted the company to stay in the family. You know, with people who actually cared about it. Translation. Me, the artsy grandkid who didn't worship the family business, should shut up and sign over my share. Then came the paperwork. My aunt's lawyer sent me revised documents that looked suspiciously like Grandpa's will. Except my name was missing. Entirely. Just vanished. Like I hadn't existed for 25 years. When I confronted my dad, he stammered about clerical errors and "You're young. You don't need this money right now." My aunt said I should be grateful. They were even considering giving me a settlement. Madison straight up told me, "You don't deserve it. You weren't there when Grandpa was sick. You're just cashing in." I was livid. I had spent the last year driving Grandpa to chemo every other week. Madison visited twice, once for selfies at the hospital. Ryan didn't even show up. And now I didn't deserve it? Here's where they screwed up. They thought I'd roll over. They thought I'd feel guilty and small, and let them eat the inheritance whole. But Grandpa raised me better, and he gave me the tools to destroy them if they tried. See, Grandpa kept records. He had binders, thumb drives, notarized statements, even a safe deposit box. He told me once, "If they try to pull something, you'll know where to look." At the time, I laughed. Now, I tore through his files like a bloodhound. What I found was a gold mine. Copies of every updated will, including the final notarized version with my name right there. Letters he wrote about his concerns with my aunt's spending habits. Receipts of the money he gave Madison over the years, tuition, bailouts, vacations, that he explicitly marked as advances against inheritance. And best of all, a letter to his lawyer instructing that any attempt to alter the will should be challenged. I didn't just have proof. I had dynamite. I lawyered up quietly, found a shark who specialized in contested estates. I gave him everything: binders, letters, receipts. We built a case so airtight you could suffocate in it. Then I sat back and let my family dig their own graves. First, they filed the revised will in probate court. My lawyer objected. Boom. We dropped the notarized original like a bomb. Judge raised his eyebrows, gave my aunt's lawyer the stink eye, and asked why his copy conveniently omitted one error. Watching my aunt squirm in that courtroom was the most satisfying thing I've ever seen. Then came the audits. Remember those advances Grandpa gave? Remember those advances Grandpa gave Madison? Yeah. Turns out she pocketed over $80,000 in loans she never paid back. Legally, that came out of her inheritance. Ryan had been caught using company funds for personal vacations when he interned there, and Grandpa documented every penny. My dad? Oh, he had a secret second mortgage on his house that Grandpa bailed him out of, again marked as an advance. So when the dust settled, the math was brutal. After deductions, Madison's share shrank to peanuts. Ryan got less than half of what he expected. My dad barely broke even. My aunt? She lost so much that she had to sell her house to cover legal fees. And me? I walked away with a clean, untouched, full 1/4 share of the estate. Plus Grandpa's lakeside cabin, because in a handwritten note, he specifically left it to me. He literally wrote, "For the kid who never let me down, the fallout was nuclear." Madison had a full-blown meltdown on Facebook, ranting about betrayal and greedy cousins. Except half the town already knew she was a leech. Her reputation tanked. Ryan moved 3 states away after his friends found out he stole from the company. My aunt? Socially exiled. Nobody trusts her. Nobody invites her anywhere. My dad and I barely speak. But when he does, it's usually to complain that I should have let things go. Let things go? They tried to erase me from my own grandfather's will.